The new Litchi app, at least for beta testers I think, has finally waypoints. This is on Android device. So my buddy got all excited and decided to bring it over and have him test it out in an open field we have over here. And here it is May 31st today. The update came out on the 27th, but it says added waypoint mode for Mavic Mini 1. So he went ahead and brought over his Mavic Mini 1. We're gonna see if it's easy. If it's not easy, most likely we'll be watching somebody else's video. Here we go. I'm gonna turn it on. You guys are just gonna have to go through the screen record. So he's gonna turn that on. Chop up some grass. And I'm gonna put that down. Gonna launch the app right out of there. It's gonna give him some problems because DJI is his main source up till now, maybe. Have to click OK. Don't show this again. Let's see if it locks in, and there we go. Gimbal up and down. Warning. Please format the SD card. Let's go ahead and format that because I think I just don't want any problems. Aircraft.
The home point has been set. Please check it on the map.
Format SD card. Format. And the card is all set up. There we go. It's got a gig missing for some reason. Okay. Let's just go under waypoint. This is where we're at. This is where it's taken off. Let's make it something simple. Excuse me. Sorry about that. So I've watched a few people, and you're going to want to put a waypoint down. Your start point. Okay, that's a camera point. It's a bit different than before, so waiting for it to load. Let's get off Wi-Fi here. Okay, there we're going. Now we're loading. Let's just do a 4-point and then make it come back to the home. That's to edit it all. You can see in previous videos how to run all that. I don't think that's probably changed too much. Let's click on waypoint 1, see if it has anything. Altitude 3 feet. Let's update that to 173. I'm having to use the dial with my finger, so it's not very precise. Be nice if I could dial that in with numbers. The lock button locks it so you can't mess with it. There, I could put in another waypoint if I wanted. Move a waypoint. Everything. Let's see what that does. That just made it north up. Let's hit play, see if it does anything fancy. We got the camera going down there. Not enough waypoints. Minimum 2 minutes. Select waypoint. So let's add another waypoint. Whoops. Okay, that to me is the waypoint. So let's start over. Now, oh, it's a bit confusing. Let's get out of waypoint for a second and then go back into waypoint. Okay, here we go. So let's do there. Okay, so it's wanting that to be your point of interest. So I'm not going to make it right there because I don't want it to go that it would be a crazy path. So let's make the middle of that field. Okay. Second ago when I was hitting the button, it was okay, there. It's a camera waypoint. Now when I click out here, it should be orbit 1. Let's see if it'll do like an arch instead of a straight path there. And then back to the home point at the finale. Not flying over anybody's houses or farms. Okay, that should be over a minute or two. That's still the edit button. That's if we want to add another viewpoint. Let's click on number 1. Altitude 98 feet. No problem with that. Cruising speed. Let's see if the first time it'll go 33 mile an hour. It's Mavic Mini 1. It's only rated for 20 or 30, and it really only does about 28. Curve size. It doesn't let me move that heading. It lets me move it wherever I want. Oh, cool. You can see it. If you look through it, you can see what it's looking at. Gimbal pitch, point of interest number 1, what to focus on, picture capture. It'd be nice if it just like recorded. Okay. Let's take a picture every 3 seconds. And what's the plus sign do? Stay for... Yeah, we're not gonna mess with all that. I'm sure there's other videos where people are doing all that fancy stuff. I really don't want to get into that. Altitude, curve. I really can't do... Oh, there we go. Oh, cruising speed. Curve size. Let's curve that way out. Just see what it does. It's looking directly at the object. Capture every half a second. Let's not really piss this thing off. 31 seconds. And cruise speed. I really wonder what it'll do if I just leave the cruise speed there on that final one, if it's going to move at all. Let's get some pictures in there every 15 seconds, and that's it. So let's go ahead and push the gear button, see what it says. Heading mode, way defined, user controlled, towards next waypoint. See if it updates it. Yep, see at the bottom left, now everything's looking at it. Whoa, okay. Let's waypoint defined. I'll keep looking at that number 1. Finished actions, back to the first waypoint or reverse. That's pretty nice. Straight lines, let's do curved turns. Oh, whoa. I don't like that curved turn. Let's do straight lines. Cruising speed. Not going to adjust that because I already have it on set at 33 mile an hour. We'll see what it does. Let's not adjust that because I already have it set up. Gimbal pitch mode, focused on point of interest at 3 feet. And there we go, that's it. Let's hit the next button. Okay, then it goes through all that. I'm gonna hit play. Let's see if it does it. Estimated mission time 6 minutes. Total distance 4,000 feet. At last waypoint has a custom set speed. If signal lost during the mission, the aircraft. Awesome, that's what you want. I'm hitting go. It is taking off by itself. It is getting the altitude it needs. This is the first time. Let's see if he loses his drone. And I'm assuming since you can open this without being connected to the app that he could have preset this in, went to the destination, and then told it to go fly it. It should turn the gimbal down a little bit because we put the object is only 3 foot in the air. Right now it's kind of looking level. See, it's taking pictures. It's not taking video. It didn't give me the option for that, so we'll have to look around to see if it has anything like that. It is still a new update for at least this app, which is really giftful for the people that have bought it for many months now and have been waiting, and then the Mavic 2 comes out, Mavic Mini 2, and you're still waiting for updates for Mavic Mini 1. We're actually going to adjust the height up to 100 feet. It's right at 98 feet. Cruise speed. See, now we left it at whatever it wanted on this one. We'll see how fast it goes. 10 mile an hour. It's a bit wishy-washy on that. because we didn't set it for any speed, so it must have went 15 mile an hour. That's full speed for P mode. See if it kind of looks to the right at number 1 as it goes past. Oh, it's going back to home, so it's not going to take another picture. We'll go ahead and make another one on 2 waypoints. See if we can tell it to look at another one real quick, take a snap, come back. See if it lets us know when it's done. That was super simple. I'm glad it's finally out. And it's done. It's just sitting there waiting on a command. Let's go ahead and bring that sucker home. Okay, that's gonna go ahead and come home. We're gonna go ahead and make a whole new map. Strong wind, fly with caution. Get off my screen. Okay, so we need to put the interest point out there. We're gonna do 2 interest points. We're gonna do, okay. Every time I click it wants to do something different until I get it going. Okay, we're gonna have to put an entrance point at them trees. And then I think there's a tree out there he's gonna look at. Yep. And we're gonna shut that off. We're gonna make it go out. We're going to go make it go out to number 1. And then out to number 2. Out to number 3. And have it end right at where it takes off. Okay. So it automatically made it look number 1 at number 1. And number 2 is looking at number 2. So let's change number 2 to look at number 1. Let's see if it fixes itself, and it does. Look, it's going to look at number 1 the whole time. It's pretty nice. And as it's coming back to number 4, let's make it look at number 2 the whole time. So it's going to be flying backwards. So there's 2 points there. Let's go ahead and click this gear over here. I kind of like how it, mission settings, you kind of just go through that and you don't even have to click on anything on the screen. User defined, back to first waypoint, go home. Okay, so you can make it go home instead of having it come back to home. Back to first waypoint, straight lines. Let's do curved, see what it does. Cruising speed, obviously that didn't. Max flight speed, none of that worked. It was going 15 mile an hour. I'm going to change it to S, see if it changes anything a little bit. Take a picture every... I really wish it could be a photo. I'm not too upset. We're getting there. Default curve size, let's turn that down to 10% just so it doesn't go ape shit wild. Focus point of interest. Okay, now it's going to take us to waypoint 1. Let's go to a higher altitude. We need to set, I'm going to go click on this. The altitude of that is going to be, let's put it, again, I can't put in precise number. We'll put it at 400, and we'll put the other one, let's put it at 800 and just see what it does. Now let's put it at 600. I don't, the gimbal is set up to look upwards, but that don't mean we won't have a problem with it somewhere. Okay, so we're at 100 feet. Let's leave all the cruising speed alone and see if it goes full speed now. Again, I can't change the curve speed. It knows where it's looking. It is cool that I can fine adjust it. Gimbal pitch, focus on the item, person, her interest. Disabled with curved turns. And we could tell it to stay there for, let's make it stay there for 9 seconds. I'm doing it for a long time so I actually notice it. stay for, or take a photo, or rotate else. Let's just make it stay. I'm sure the other stuff will work. Okay, all this is going to be the same. Let's just leave it all the same. What's that? Curve speed. Okay, it's showing the curves there. See the curves now. That's pretty nice. Curve size, 400 feet. Oh, look, I can adjust the curve. If you look through it, you can see how curvy it's going to be. Super nice. It's not going to be so jerky. And then we hit the next button, and don't let us do anymore. We can lock this, we can save it, we can also load other ones we've already had. Here's if I wanted to save it and bring it back out of the load file. That's right here at the top left. I'm gonna go ahead and click play. Estimated 3 minutes. Ain't too bad. 6,000. That's over a mile. It's gonna do over a mile in less than 3 minutes. Starting select waypoints, and we're gonna click go. And it does not want to do it in S mode. It says to change it back to P mode, and it would not even take off because of that. And there we go. Put on P mode, it takes right off. It took off and went up about 10 feet, and then it stopped, and now it took off the rest of the way. So if this is a windy day, I'm assuming it S mode would not be activated. It would have a little bit more trouble fighting the wind. So we're going to let that do its thing, and then we're going to make it go out of range. We're going to shut off the controller or kill the signal in some sort of way to where it's going to have a problem, and we're going to see if it can do its thing and come back. If not, it'll be a great video of us going out and trying to get a drone that we lost with no signal. So again, I'll take that out. It should stop there for 9 seconds. Coming in, you should see the speed drop to a 0. To me, it feels like it's looking a little bit to the right of object 1. It's definitely stopped there for 9 seconds. There's motion at my door. And it's back off. And it's going to stare at that object. Look, it's up in the sky. So you just need to know your height of what you want. It's really cool that it's looking up at the sky. Wish it could be recording. I'm going to hit the record button, see what it does.
Recording started.
That's pretty nice. It's recording, and since the drone records to the SD card, most likely it's recording and listening. So it could be recording the whole time. We'll have to test that out. Now that was at 400 feet. It's probably going to have some problems looking at 800 feet. It's going ape shit now. It's trying to turn to look at number 2, and it's just not getting there quick enough. I'm already at the 3rd peg. So you're going to have to stop it at number 2 or put a point in between for it to have time to turn. It should be turning right now to look at number 2. We got it running full 33 mile an hour. It's pulling a 21. Not too disappointing. It's finally looking at the object. It did its thing. Went clear around. Just had a little bit of problem between 2 and 3. Nothing you can't learn and figure out. Also, it just dropped down to 40 feet for some reason. And now it's taken back off. Oh, it's going back to 0.1. Okay. So the elevation difference, no, it don't make sense why it just went down to 30 feet. You could see a tree just on the right side of it for a little bit there. Now it's back up to 90 feet. We're gonna have to look at the waypoint, see if we did anything wrong or if it was a software failure there. Now we're up to 120 feet. Bit weird there. And it says it's done. Doesn't really say it, it just kind of sits there and it's not moving. So
Recording stopped.
I stopped the recording. Let's bring it back. Let's look at waypoint 2 and see what the height was on there. Altitude 34 feet. Okay, so it was something we set up wrong or overlooked. Something we'll definitely look at in the future of setting up this next one. We're gonna have to definitely make sure we do it right because we're gonna make it go out of range. With P mode going out of range, that's gonna be really hard because in this area we can go up to 5 miles. Definitely in P mode we can go 5.8, which is my record. Who knows what he's gonna do. But 5 miles, we're gonna have to hide the controller somewhere. And yeah, P mode goes pretty far out here in the country. So let's see what we had altitude set on the other ones, just in case we accidentally messed up. 98 feet. 98 feet. Okay. So it said that took 3 minutes. It was pretty close because the recording was a little over a minute. We're gonna drop it down here, put a new battery in it, and take it back off. Make it go way outside its boundary. See if it comes back. I don't know if it's gonna go off satellite. It's not gonna have communication with the remote at all. Hopefully it data logs it even though it's not communicating. Because the only way we'll know is if we watch the footage, honestly. Okay, we're gonna power it down. We're actually gonna power it down and try to set it up offline mode. And if we can do it offline mode, it means you can pre-do your flight before you get somewhere. It's offline right now.
Warning, signal lost.
Signal loss, which is what we want to see when we do this next one. See if it'll let us do waypoints. Okay, where are we? This is, still says signal loss, but still shows a thing here. Let's go ahead and put, it's saying that's the max distance we're allowed to go. Let's see if my little gears will let me. Max safe distance. Let's up that to 9,000. See if that goes just a little bit bigger. Okay, so that's my personal setup. 5,200 feet is 1 mile, around there, if I have it right. So let's go ahead and put 2 different points of interest. Let's not make them anybody's house so we don't have any problems with anybody. Okay, there we go. We'll have to see what it says. Remember, it's going one way and coming back, but we're going to hide the controller inside of a metal building so it has a bit of problems. Let's make it a straight path just so we don't have any kind of a straight path. Here we go. Okay, and then we'll tell it to go home once it's done. Okay, you thing. Am I allowed to put down another point? Okay, here we go. And let's do one more right there. That's saying the mission is 12,000. We'll do it. We'll do it. Okay, I'm just going to leave everything alone. We're going to go ahead and click the gears on the left side. Waypoint define. We needed to come back. Go home. We need to go home. Let's not do any curved lines. Just a straight one. Cruising speed. Let's do full speed so we get it done and we're not waiting here forever. Let's not do photos at all. We're going to click the record button right away. Okay, let's make sure. Waypoint 1. Look at that, 3,400 feet, or 34. Let's go up to 167. feet, which is well above the tree line and any hazards. Gimbal pitch negative. Let's just make sure all these are, again, you have to move it with your finger, which is not awesome. They're all set at 34, so watch out. Okay, and then it's going to come home. Let's set up these markers. Altitude's 180 feet. Where's the other one? It's down here. 3 feet. Yeah, let's leave it at 3 feet. Actually, let's do negative so it looks down a little bit. Okay, that's it. We are trusting that this thing is going to take off. And by the way, it's still signal lost, so let's kick it on. Actually, let's save it just in case it loses. No signal is what we're going to call it. Yeah, a little bit of problem is fat fingers. Okay. That camera should come into focus once it connects. Looking like it's coming up online. There we go. We got a video. Let's click
Recording started.
record. Let's hit start. So it's going to take 8 minutes, 14,000 feet. Kind of worried because our distance testing previously with the Mavic Mini, it took more than 8 minutes to go 14,000 feet. Don't know where it's coming up with that, so it's kind of worrisome if you push it too far, because the time and the distance does not add up together. Let's go ahead and click go and then hide the controller and see what happens. Hopefully in 8 minutes we see something. Now we're not going to be able to record anything for them 8 minutes other than just what's on the screen, but I'll show you its signal loss. We're waiting on it to take off, and it's not taking off. Did it come up with a thing? We're too busy looking at the orbit center too far from the drone. Orbit. We're not orbiting anything. Orbit center too far from the drone. Drone's still functional. Orbit. Okay. So even though it says if it loses signal, it will come back, it's still not letting me do it. So let's go ahead and click. Okay, well, let me delete that. Delete. There we go. Let's see if I just have one waypoint, if it will do it. Orbit center too far from. Okay. Let's delete number 4 and see if that's any better. Orbit center too far. I'm wondering if this is too far. Maybe the, let's try that. Oh, well, it quit bringing me back to home. Let's go ahead and delete that and add a new one right smack dab in the middle and push play. Orbit center too far. So we haven't done anything. Oh, and that's way out there.
Recording stopped.
Canceling the recording there. Let's set it up so that it doesn't come home when it's done. Go back to first waypoint. Let's see if that had anything to do with it. Okay, the orbit thing is a bit frustrating. So it's not going to go outside of its waypoint. Let's see if it'll even do like a single right now. Yeah. Okay, it has no problem wanting to do that. So let's land it back down. And it did it with no waypoint. So let's see what we can do here. There. Tell it just to go home. Go home. Straight lines. Okay, waypoint 1, just making sure it's above that 30-some feet. Let's see if it'll do this one. Oh, it's wanting to do that one. So let's land it one more time and just make it go a little bit further than what it was. Still got a good healthy battery. There. Let's push it clear out there. Go home. Go home. That makes it a little bit more safe. 180 feet, and our final one is 180 feet. Let's click play. 16,000, 10 minutes, go. And it's gonna do it. It's taken off.
Recording started.
Click record. It's in P mode. Let's go kill the signal. And just to show you it's not a gimmick or anything, I'll let you guys just watch right on the screen. You shouldn't see anything. You should say signal. Should see signal lost. We'll go ahead and set a timer for 10 minutes. We see it flying. It's going fast. Let's see if we can kill this signal. Gonna go ahead and zoom out. We're trying to kill the signal. Let's see if I can even move the gimbal. If I could still move the gimbal, that's pretty crazy. No, it's kind of just giving me fake information, at least the video wise. I moved the gimbal and nothing moved down at the bottom right. I'm gonna go ahead and shut the controller off.
Warning, disconnected.
Remember, we were recording. We'll have to bring it back and look at the recording, or maybe this will show it and we'll see a battery with lower than that. I'm not gonna leave it off the whole time, just in case the drone did have a problem. We're gonna want to bring it back for future videos. But I'm gonna leave it out for a few minutes. And we have an issue. The drone came back because of no connection, and it is coming down right now to land. Let's go ahead and kick that. Now we had a phone call in the middle of that, and we did not know. It ended the recording. We're sorry about that. But the waypoint that we had set up, it went out. The last waypoint that you did see went out, and we don't know where it ended. We're just hurrying up and making this video, throwing it on there because it's so fresh. We had orbits on there. That didn't work, the waypoints. We got rid of that. And then just put waypoints clear out to 6,000 feet. it went clear out to number 3 out of 4, and as soon as it lost video signal, it decided to come back. I don't know why it's doing that. It still had a full signal with the controller. It should have came back, but it went out to this area out here and then just freaked out and decided to come back. Had no problem coming back. Had still, it was also at 50% battery at the same exact time it lost that signal. So we don't know if it's because of the 50% battery for a safety issue, or if it was because it lost video signal. It should go off the regular signal, but it ended up just coming back, landing, no problem. Still feels like it's being a bit safe, a lot more safe than what it should be. But at least we have waypoints. You can't send it clear to the neighboring town and take pictures there, but it'll go around your property or do a survey, or definitely a survey of a field for someone. But not quite what I'm wanting yet. Not quite what he's wanting. Can't make good videos out of that. We need to go further. But yeah, sorry you guys missed that. We had a phone call. Did not know it ended our recording down there at the bottom left. Thanks for watching. Hopefully this cleared up a little bit of hassles that we have with this, and hopefully it gets better in the future. Thanks for watching.